Crims, I will donate you to go to Best Buy and lick the controller after Smash Day. How about I mail it to you so you can lick it? Grims, real talk. How much of breaking is guessing versus reaction? A lot of high players. Dooney R, it's basically everything. It's basically everything. It also depends on how you can feel at your opponent. Whether or not you can react, whether or not you want to react to a certain thing, or if you want to choose to try to guess due to the fact that some characters have some patterns, it's completely up to you. But in the end, it all depends on how wise you utilize those decisions. Because sometimes if you just choose to guess all the time, one day it'll work, one day it won't. If you choose to react all the time, most of the time it'll work. But going up against a player that loves a counter break, most of the time that will work as well. You know what I mean? And sometimes you'll be on your A game so far to the point where you can actually react on most of the stuff that's happening. Especially, so like, for instance, like if you know your character's patterns, but you choose not to break on reaction because you don't want them to have any kind of chance to combo break or counter break, you can literally use that to your advantage for a good guess. You know what I mean? And most of the time, you know, or if it works for most of the time, then that's when you can really get inside your opponent's head. For some setting up your own counter breaks. Wow, nice break. See, I could ask right there, was that reaction or was that a guess? You know what I mean? I'm gonna lean over to guess. To the fact that maybe he just felt like, you know, I've been doing a lot of fierces lately, you know what I mean? So it just kind of came to his head, what should I break? Maybe a fierce. And right there, you see that? That was on pure reaction, because the moment he actually came down on me, the thing is, you have to ask yourself, okay, what's he going to plan to do for the first hit? Usually these first hits right after a jump opener is extremely risky. But the thing is, it's like, okay, you jump opener, and, you know, and it just so happened to be like Jago's strong kick, which is relatively slow. So if you have a lot of practice, you know, you can really break it on reaction, you know, without that much effort at all, to be honest. But that's you know, that's assuming the fact that you've practiced it for so long, you know what I mean? And that goes for any character, really. As long as you just see what it looks like, you know, the animations will seem a lot slower than usual, and you will be able to pick it up. So I really hope that works, guys. If you break manuals, it's a guess. Not necessarily KDD. It may be a guess to some people, but it's definitely reactable. And it definitely depends on the character that you're playing against that has the type of manuals. Like, for instance, Saberwolf's manuals, I think his standing strong and his standing, let's see, I want to say standing strong and standing jab look incredibly similar with each other. Just maybe a couple of frames that are different. For that one, you can either, you know, you can guess, or, you know, if you really make the commitment of trying to react to something that looks like a strong, then you could do it. But again, it throws you off if, you know what I mean? Like, on one day you'll be breaking like heavies, but it's really strong. It's like, oh man, that looked just like heavies. I did heavies because it looked just like it. You know what I mean? And other days it's just like, oh yeah, I called it out because it looked exactly like this. But other ones, it's just like their manuals look incredibly similar to the point where it's just like, I gotta feel it out. What does my character like to do more than ever? You know what I mean? Like for Sadira, for instance, some of her manuals can be reactable, but it's not easy. It's incredibly hard. Like, for instance, like if she's like very far away from you, and she does like a what's it called, like a light recluse or whatever. I can't remember exactly how it goes, but it usually connects with like a strong manual afterwards, or a jumping roundhouse to the farthest point. You can kind of simmer it down, like, okay, what can this person do at this far range? Can't do a jab because that's too short, so it either has to be strong or fierce, and that's where you gotta look out for it. And sometimes you can react to it if you manage to just kind of like rule out all the other situations and just pay attention to the animation and the length as well. And that's when it can actually be reactable, but again, not easy. Way easier said than done. Whoa. So now he's breaking on linkers, which is pretty good. Ooh, did not want to waste any time keeping that going. save my instinct. Nice. Oh, I did my DP. Oh, shit. I should have just been more patient. Wow, another Dragon Punch. Okay. Very nice. I get his drift. He definitely wants to break things way early, especially when he had that low health, so that way he doesn't give me a chance to try to end him early. But again, like I could utilize, you know, counter breaking more often in this one. But I mean, it all depends on how you go about these matches. Whoa, laggy. Holy crap. Wait, give it a sec. Alright, find out the lag. Alright, lag's gone. Alright. Well, it's still there. Oh my goodness. Nice break. See, he's breaking on reactions on the linkers. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, everything was peachy keen, but now there's lag. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I can't see anything. Okay, now I can't see anything. That's bad. Holy crap. Yikes. Yeah, that match could have went way better both ways. At that moment, every single strong looked like it was a one frame, and I was like, yeah, when stuff like that happens online, it's just like, no, you cannot break anything on reaction. At that point, there's way too many online variables just involving everything like that to becoming a true guess at that point. Anything like that happens, it very easily can throw your mentality out the window, and you just kind of have to resort to something else, because things can be very untrustworthy at that moment with like manuals or animations at that moment. Every time you miss any kind of frames on animations, things become way too hectic, and it's just both players just have to manage in that one. That sucks, man. That really sucks.
Hector, look at this shit.
Oh man, I'm muting this guy. I don't want to hear this.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna play you this full fuck of it.
You know, forget it. I'm not muting him. Forget it. We're gonna see what happens. Who knows, man? Maybe more Quackerdoodles? We'll see.
It's supposed to go my rank, not this rank. That's a fucking setup.
Oh, jeez. It's a setup. It's a setup.
You're going fucking manual, too.
Oh my goodness. Well, the one thing I like is he's not trying to mash buttons. That's a good part. Sometimes you can tell with the true guest breakers. God, that sound is loud. It probably shouldn't be around. But with the guest breakers, it's usually people that just do not think about any kind of combos to break. They're just mashing buttons. But it seems like he's actually trying to just think about what button to press. Just with that delay.
No.
Oops, that's that one up.
I don't care. I did some damage. I don't care, man.
That guy is silly. Wait, KDD, what are you trying to ask at the moment? Hold on. I don't need to prove anything. Come into exhibition with Kowalski. Break my manuals on reaction. Again, Very much easier said than done. KDD, we're trying to explain that some manuals can be broken on reactions. We're not saying every single manual can be broke on reactions, because if that were the case, then manuals would not be as useful, you know what I mean, as people thought it would be in the very beginning. Manuals are manuals. They're supposed to be harder to do. Well, they're a little bit harder to do than auto doubles, but slight margin, but harder to break. You know what I mean? But some manuals can be broke on reaction. Oh. That's great. What's up, Take Your Life? I love that name, Take Your Life. Yeah, unfortunately, Avid Villain, I mean, it's the world of ranked, man. You know, sometimes you get paired up with people that have a lot of knowledge in the game. Sometimes you get paired up with, you know, people that just started out, and it can be quite unfortunate. But the best thing you can do is just give them a good match, you know what I mean? Like, that's basically the most respectable thing to do. You don't want to try to go easy on them, you want to give them a good match, you know? And some people may not understand, you know, what that means yet, but, you know, others appreciate it. I could have summoned a cat there. Oh, never mind. Nice break. Manuals with new auto doubles, though, people think you do them on accident and then you counter break the shit out of them. That's a good one. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, it's basically like that. LCD. It is like it's supposed to be viewed as the new auto doubles, the new tech, or the new mechanic that everybody should be learning. Even though it's not complete universal for everybody. For Jago, it's like 1% of it is not universal, and that's just like the low wind kick into fierce. You can't manual that unless it's an opener, so it's only one chance of doing it, and if you don't do it on the opener, you can't do it. Oh, excuse me. Grims, you asked for updates on my future spawn, so here's an update. We'll find out. Well, we will find out the sex in a few. Nice, awesome. Again, congrats, dude. Congrats. Yeah, it's been a while. Oh my goodness, it's actually not in my room right now. Oh, missed that one. Oh. Hey, what's up, Another Stash? How are you, man? Yeah, only 6 weeks. Yeah. Yikes. Okay. There's too many dragon punches in one sitting. Just gotta relax. I'll do another one.